We shall talk about the refraction by two transparent spherical curved surface. Now see, an infinitesimal part of a spherical surface, or we can say very small part of the spherical surface, can be considered to be plane, and the same laws of reflection can be applied at every point on this surface, or a very small infinitesimal surface. There you can apply the laws of refraction rather. Okay, laws of reflection can also be applied. Both the laws can be applicable to a very small spherical or infinitesimal part of spherical surface, because that small part is a plane surface. Okay, as we have a flat surface here on the earth, because this small part of the earth is a flat, but earth as a whole is a spherical surface. Okay, now the normal at a point of incidence is perpendicular to the tangent plane to the spherical surface at that point, and therefore passes through the center of curvature. So whenever a normal drawn at a point of incidence will always be, or it will always will pass through the center of the spherical surface or center of curvature of the spherical surface. Now how to deal with this kind of situation? Okay, here there is one question very important, and you try to write down some of the things while watching this particular video. Then and then this geometrical part can be understood by you. Okay, obtain the relative, or rather relation between object distance and image distance in terms of refractive index of medium and radius of curvature of the spherical curved surface. Now see, first of all, try to understand this figure. Okay, I am zooming it out here. Okay, now see, here O is the object. Here this is the object. The ray, incident ray to this transparent spherical surface is falling at this point N. As such, it should go like this. It should go like this, but it will be refracted because the medium is changed, and it will reach here. Okay, this is the normal, or dotted line shows the normal drawn at a point of incidence. This is your incident ray. This is normal drawn at a point of incidence which will pass through the center of curvature of the spherical surface. Now this incident ray will be refracted, and it will bend towards the normal, and it will go like this. Okay, now this ray, which is as such passing through the center of curvature, okay, it will go straight without refraction, and both these rays will meet at this point I, and the image is formed here. Okay, at a point I. Okay, so this is the image formation that I have explained. Now different distances we consider. The object distance, that is from the spherical surface. This is the spherical surface. Okay, object distance is u. Okay, the image distance is v. Okay, and the center of curvature, as you know, it is situated at distance r, which is nothing but radius of curvature of the spherical surface. Okay, so this I have explained all about the figure. Now these angles are considered to be the small angles. Okay, say angle NOM. Try to understand this angle NOM, which I am showing it here. This NOM angle you take. Okay, this triangle you consider and take 10 NOM. Then, as you know, tan theta is opposite upon adjacent, so it becomes NM upon OM. Okay, so all these things you write in your notebook simultaneously so that it can be understood easily. Now this angle is very small. Angle NOM is very small. So tan theta is equivalent to theta. So tan NOM is equivalent to NOM in radian. So we can write NM upon OM. Okay. So angle NOM is NM or rather MN whatever. Okay, NM upon OM. Okay. Now similarly for the new angle, that is NCM, try to understand NCM, this particular. Okay, so tan NCM is equal to, opposite again is MN upon here it becomes CM. Okay, CM. So again this angle is very small, this angle is very small, NCM. Okay, so tan theta is equivalent to theta. So angle NCM is equal to MN upon CM. Okay, all these things simultaneously you write in the notebook. Okay, because from the figure only everything is derived. Now the next angle I am taking, that is angle NIM. Angle NIM. Now tan NIM, take NIM. This particular triangle we are taking. So again opposite is nothing but MN upon adjacent is IM. Okay, or we can say again we can write it is IM. Okay, IM. So this side is the adjacent side and this side is opposite. So MN upon IM. Okay, so angle NIM is equal to MN upon IM. Okay. So these are the three different angles which we have taken into consideration. Okay, tan NIM is equivalent to angle NIM and that is found to be MN upon IM. Okay, so these three things first you write in your notebook properly. Okay, now we move further. Okay, now we will take the angle, rather triangle NOC. Try to understand this triangle NOC. This triangle I am taking. Then this angle I becomes the exterior angle, and as you know that exterior angle is equal to the sum of interior opposite angles. So this angle I is the sum of angle NOM, okay, angle NOM and angle NCM and angle NCM. Okay, now angle NOM we are having its value, you have written in your notebook. Okay, it is MN upon OM plus angle NCM is nothing but MN upon CM. Again you write this in your notebook. Okay, now the new triangle I am taking. Okay, now the new triangle I am taking, that is NCI. Okay, triangle NCI, this triangle I am taking, and for it we can say that angle NCM, try to understand NCM, this angle again I am showing for the triangle NCI. Okay, this is your triangle NCI. This particular angle becomes the exterior angle, that is angle NCM, and this angle NCM, that is exterior angle NCM, is the sum of interior opposite angle. Now see, interior opposite, one is this angle R and the other one is this angle, means angle NIM. Okay, angle NIM. This angle NIM is other interior angle. So it is the sum of, okay, again this angle, that is angle NCM is the sum of interior opposite, that is R plus this particular angle. This angle is nothing but angle NIM, angle NIM. Okay, so this result also we have obtained. Okay, because NCM we have obtained. What is NCM? It is MN upon CM is equal to R. Okay, and we have NIM. What is NIM? It is MN upon IM. So here angle R can be written as, we have written already I, angle R we are writing now, it is MN upon CM minus MN upon IM. This must be ready in your notebook properly, it must be written. Okay, now we move further. Okay, we move further in the theory. This much we have completed. See, up to this R we have obtained. Now we apply the Snell's law at a point of incidence, that is N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. Now I am showing it here. Okay, we apply the Snell's law at this particular point, say point I. So here the refractive index is N1, so we write N1 sin I is equal to, here this medium, that is another medium, or we can say denser medium. Okay, it is having refractive index N2, so it becomes N2 sin R. Now for small angles, as you know, sin theta is also equivalent to theta. So I and R, they are very small. So sin I is equivalent to I, and sin R is also equivalent to R in radian. Okay, so we can write N1 I is equal to N2 R, and instead of this I and R, we put those two values which we have already obtained for angle of incidence I and angle of refraction R, and that is kept here in this particular theory. Okay, N1 I is equal to N2 R we have obtained, and instead of I we write this, which we have already written in the notebook, Mn upon OM plus Mn upon Cm, okay, is equal to N2 into R. R is nothing but Mn upon Cm minus Mn upon Im or Mi. Okay, now this Mn will be cancelled out. This N1 is multiplied inside with these two terms. Okay, so it becomes N1 upon OM plus N1 upon Cm is equal to, again N2 is multiplied inside, so it becomes N2 upon Cm minus N2 upon Im. Okay, so this is very easy. Now these values of OM, you can see in the figure. OM is nothing but object distance, it is on left hand side, so it is written as minus U. Okay, Cm is radius of curvature, and Mi is image distance. You can see in the figure. Okay, what is OM? First of all, O to M. Here this O to M is nothing but object distance. This is on left hand side, so it is taken to be negative. Here this C to M is the radius of curvature, and I to M, this particular distance is nothing but image distance, and that is on right hand side, so it is V. Okay, so putting all these values in those in that particular last equation. Okay, here instead of OM it is written as minus U, you can see. Instead of CM it is written as positive R. Here also positive R, CM, and MI is taken as positive V. Now just rearrangement of this equation. Okay, these two terms with V and U are taken on one side. Okay, so this goes on the other side, so it becomes positive. This negative will become positive, so it has become positive here. This has been kept as it is, so it is minus n1 upon u plus n2 upon v. This goes on the other side, it becomes, this positive will become negative, so it becomes n2 minus n1 upon r. Or we can say, you can write in a different way also. This is as such our equation, minus n1 upon u plus n2 upon v is equal to n2 minus n1 upon r. Or you just change the order here. On left hand side it becomes n2 upon v minus n1 upon u is equal to n2 minus n1 upon r. Okay, and it is true for any curved spherical surface. Okay.